Happy New Year, everybody! Oh, wait, I'm a little early. Well, that's the point, though. I wanted to give out some, recommendations for New Year's related horror movies. I know everyone's go-to is New Year's Evil, but there are others out there. So I went on the internet and I typed a few in and tried to see what I could get, and I got a few titles, so here I am to watch and review them for you to see if they're worth your time. Starting with Bloody New Year. Now, I am going to do a spoiler discussion in this video, but I will start that in a minute after I tell you whether or not this is worth your time, if that's all you're here for. I watched it on YouTube because it's currently out of print anywhere. It's not on anything, and the out-of-print DVDs are like $100, so fuck that. So yeah, it is currently on YouTube. Quality's not amazing or anything, but I don't think there is a quality version of this that exists anyways, no matter how you get it. It was a very promising film in the opening. I thought it was fun and ridiculous and hilarious in the first like 20 minutes, and I was all like excited that I was going to share this with you guys and I had found this hidden gem. But then it just kind of slowed down and it got ridiculous and not in a fun way. Towards the very end, the last like 10 or 15 minutes, I started to enjoy it again. But man, that middle, and when I say middle, I'm talking like 45 minutes, 45, 50 minutes. It's a big chunk. It's more than, it's over half the film. I just found myself to be bored, and that was a shame. So I feel like I could have watched the opening, fast forwarded through all that, and then watched the ending, and I would have been like, yeah, totally check it out. But anyway, let's get into the discussion here. So if you haven't seen it and you want to go in without this, go ahead and shut this off. But if not, I'm going to discuss it further for those who have seen it or just want to hear about it because they're not going to watch the whole damn thing or to see if it's worth their time. There's this very odd, weird opening song. It kind of reminds me of something that would be in like an 80s comedy or something. It was a very odd choice. I'm not sure what they were going for. It's called The Recipe for Romance, and it's weird, and it's done with this like old black and white like footage that's in a little square, a little box, like a little like 16 millimeter or something. Kind of reminded me of The Prowler a teeny bit at the beginning. It's supposed to be New Year's Eve 1959, and then this girl goes to color and everyone leaves and she's the last person left in this hotel on this island, and she walks over to the mirror and she's like checking herself in the mirror and then steps back and steps forward to check herself in the mirror, and like her own reflection like grabs her and pulls her through. That actually was really cool. That was like, whoa, cool, this is cool, all right, this is supernatural, maybe, I guess, maybe not, maybe there was like a trick mirror and they just grabbed, but she saw herself, so I guess not. I don't know. It's not like stuff like this actually has to make any sense in movies like this, but it was a cool effect for the time. All you saw was her hand. Granted, now this could have been widescreen and you could have saw a lot more of her. I'm not sure, but this was in full frame. I would guess they shot this in widescreen. I doubt they shot it full frame, but yeah, I would have liked to see the rest of the shot to see if it looked a little more like her, because all we saw was the hand. Still a cool effect regardless. And then we move over to the fun fair or carnival. They keep calling it a fun fair. Or the fair, I guess. They walk up on these like teacups. It's like a merry-go-round teacup combination. I don't know what the hell you call that, like a tilt-a-whirl or something. But these guys are antagonizing this girl by spinning her in one of these teacups, and they won't let her out. So the guys come in to save her. One of the guys runs around he just sits there and he watches his friends trying to help this girl for like a good minute before he finally decides like, maybe I should help. And their fight is absurd on the teacups. It's so silly. It's so poorly staged. And the guy goes and he cuts the power to the thing and takes one of the fuses, and it for some reason throws all three of the assailants away and off of the thing. And the way they like are thrown, they're actually just jump. It's so bad. I loved it. I laughed out loud, and I was at work and I got some looks. But they just get thrown off of this thing, and then the guys run off with the girl, and they're like chasing him through this fair, and they're trying to catch him, and it seems ridiculous. Like, why are they so committed to just spinning this girl? Like, this is what this is about. Like, they weren't trying to rape her. They weren't trying, like, we want to spin her and you're not letting us. She's screaming help, but we want to spin her. It was, I'm not sure really what it was. They just wanted to be bullies. Who knows? But they spin her, they get her off, and they run. Well, they didn't get her off. It's not that kind of movie, unfortunately. They rescue her and they run off, and they're chasing them through this fair, and they get into a fucking like haunted house, dark house, and the guys that are chasing after them get in there, and they're hiding in the thing, and then their other friends go and grab a truck and drive it through the haunted house, like break through the walls. The friends jump in, and then they break through the other wall, driving off. Sir, I literally, like, mouth dropped. I was like, over spinning a girl in teacups, you're gonna fucking demolish private property and drive off. And then it just hard cuts to them like hanging out in the back of a boat as they're driving down the road, just like nothing. Or no, I'm sorry. Yeah, driving down the road, and then it like hard cuts to them in a boat, and they're just relaxing and kicking back like nothing happened, and the girl they rescued's with them. And it's just like, oh, I was waiting for my friends, but I guess I'll just hang out with you guys for now. And they're just kicking back. And then something happens, a rock hits the bottom of the boat, and they start to sink, and shit gets crazy like 5 seconds later. So it's like insane, mellow, insane. Editing, the cuts, everything are so poorly done. I love it. It was making me laugh. And this is where I was really enjoying the film. And there's even a scene where like the bullies or whatever, they have this like in unison moment where they like pull out their brass knuckles all at the exact same moment, like synchronized brass knuckling. That should be an Olympic sport. So then this film goes in a paranormal direction. Now, as I said, that opening scene with the mirror, it kind of hinted towards that a little bit, but it was like 30 minutes of nothing. And then we get to the hotel, and then people are like coming out of the projectors. They're watching a movie. They're actually watching a Fiend Without a Face, which is featured in one of my favorite movies of all time, Ernest Scared Stupid. Yes, you heard me right. One of my favorite movies, Ernest Scared Stupid. It is fucking hilarious. And if you don't like it, you have no soul. Anyway, they're watching this, and like a guy comes out of the movie and kills him, and like that's how the whole thing is. Like they keep appearing places. It sounds a lot cooler than it is. Just felt very hokey, and not in a like, haha, that looks stupid way. It was kind of just like, that looks really dumb, and this is poorly done, and I'm not having any fun anymore. This sucks. It is just dragged. But then it starts to pick up a little bit more towards the end. And this is where like neon colors start coming into play. One thing I will say, and I should have said this in the beginning, this film has almost nothing to do with New Year's. Like the opening is a New Year's, and then they're kind of stuck in a time loop because some plane was carrying some kind of technology that could mess with time. They were trying to play God or whatever, and it crashed onto this island, and it kept them in like a perpetual 1960s, but like, you know, ghosts, I suppose, or I don't know what the hell they are. And then they're trying to just, once they kill people or once they take them in, they then become guests of the hotel, like The Shining forever. So yeah, I mean, I guess it's just always New Year's there. Like they're throwing like a New Year's party at the very end, and then the opening there's a New Year's party. So I guess it just like in their version of the film, like in their side of the film, which is very little, it's New Year's always. So I guess technically yes, but it's so little to do with New Year's. These guys aren't even. I don't even think it's New Year's for the main protagonists of this film, like the main characters. I don't think it's New Year's around them. If it is, I just missed it. But I guess the New Year's thing is just because the island is constantly recycling that day, New Year's 1959 or New Year's Day 1960. I don't know what day. I think it's 1960. I think it had passed, but whatever. Anyway, but as I said, it starts to pick up. Like we get a lot of neon lighting and more shit's going on, and people are like coming through walls. You can tell this was inspired by Nightmare on Elm Street, where the guy's like pushing through the wall and it's like a rubber it looks like a big huge balloon he's pushing through, and it actually makes sounds like if you were to rub your hands on a balloon. And it's supposed to be the wall that's like painted, but because he's pushing on and he's moving his hands around, like all the paint is just starting to come off over the balloon. It's pretty funny. I don't think that's intentional, because then when it comes back, like it goes wall again and there's nothing seen in there. So I just think it was, they painted rubber balloon type material and the paint started to come off, and they were like, well, that's all we can come up with. Oops. Maybe Wes Craven and company had better people. So yeah, that looked cool. And then there's a scene where the girl, you know, one of the entities or ghosts or whatever, like grabs the guy's head and she spins it around, and they show it twice. Like they have to cut away so that he can put his clothes on backwards, and then he can push his head as far as he can, and then it cuts away again, comes back, and his clothes are back on forward, and he's twisting his head again. And it does that like 4 times, like to do a full 2 cycles. And I thought that was funny. It's like, I thought one's good enough here, guys. Like, I get it. We don't need to overemphasize that she's breaking his neck. I think 1 full spin would kill him, which always brings up the point of how the hell did Reagan survive her head twisting all the way around in The Exorcist? I mean, she's still a girl at the end of it, so plot hole. Just kidding. Anyway, so and then the house, I guess, is possessed too. How that applies here at all, because this is supposed to just be a reoccurrence of time. How it made them ghosts, and how the house then became also possessed, because like the railing, the newel post or whatever, like it tries to grab her. It does grab her, this girl, and the guy comes and it cuts the thing's hand off, I guess, whatever, and it starts moaning and like the house. So I don't know how the house then became possessed, because this is just time distortion. I don't know. I can't put any logic into this at all. And then we get the ending with the guy who gets called back, you know, always tries to save the damsel in distress, stupid guy. And he goes and he gets caught in fucking quicksand, and he gets a propeller from a boat to the face, and the other girl's just on the boat out there by herself, and she's just pulled through the bottom of the boat. That was actually a cool shot, because there was like no water, there was no you didn't see any hands, you didn't see anything. She just fell through the boat, and then she was like trapped in the mirror, and everyone was having their little New Year's party at the end there. You want to see a fucking real New Year's horror movie? It's not really a horror movie, but I'm telling you, you were in that situation, holy fucking A, would that be terrifying, is The Poseidon Adventure. That is a straight horror movie to me, man. Being trapped on a fucking boat that's upside down, sinking in the water, oh God. That's horrifying, and that is on New Year's. So there's a fantastic New Year's horror movie. I have another couple that I'm going to check out. I haven't seen them yet. I'll probably do New Year's Evil as well, because that's the obvious one, and have it on Blu-ray. Why not? All right, guys. Until next time, there it is. There it is. My I don't know what to do to end my videos wave. Happy New Year.